So a couple months ago, actually right at Christmas time, I was hanging out with my friend Scott here, and I don't know if you remember in previous videos that gold VA sedan with the welded diff, no rear brakes, that skidder. He was kind enough to generously give me that over Christmas as a Christmas present, because he's a sick like that. So we finally got it from Toowoomba to Kingaroy, well near Kingaroy, out at a mate's place. And as you saw in previous videos, it goes into limp mode. It was after a while, but now it's doing instantly. As soon as you go into drive or something?
Yeah, trying to go manual.
Yeah, as soon as you go to the Triptronic shift stuff, it goes straight into limp mode and flashes. So flashes drive D on the dash. So we've just gone to Super Cheap, picked up a filter kit for it, some new oil and all that sort of stuff, and an oil cooler. If it's milkshaked, which I hope it's not, if it's milkshaked, it'll be new gearbox time. And if it's not milkshaked, we will put the new filter and give it a service, and possibly in another video, another time, put the oil cooler in, since we didn't get all the fittings and all that stuff this time. And my mate, Brendan. Brendan, say hello to the camera. He has a BA as well, another BA XT. Done a good little job on it. Some tyre slap on the other side. They're only single pegs, unfortunately. But he removed the radiator because it had a crack in it, to put one out of his FG into it, and forgot about the auto lines and went to move it. So created a little bit of a mess, unfortunately. Which you live and you learn. He found that out pretty quick. This is already up on ramps. We did forget to bring jack stands for it, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Should be able to get most of it out. It's mainly just to see if we've milkshaked it or not, which I hope we haven't milkshaked it, because that's new gearbox time. So the first thing we have to do is pull the old auto tranny lines out of this, and then we can chuck the new radiator in and give her a start up, fill it with tranny oil. What's more, tranny oil for this thing as well, and see if the radiator holds. I'll show you the other radiator while we're getting a new one. It had a small leak. This is a radiator out of this silver one. It had a small leak for a little while, and obviously after a mad flog and it getting really hot, because someone likes to overheat cars, it ended up just getting, like, the hole just got bigger and pissed out water everywhere. And so he's tried gooing it up, doing silicone, whatever it is, and still hasn't worked. So we thought we'd just put a new radiator in. And in the meantime, that's when this line actually got a little bit crinkled. It's really hard to see, but yeah, it's not meant to be like that. So there's one bolt holding the lines in, other than the screws to the radiator and the screws to the transmission. Brendan's just under there doing the transmission lines now. I think he's just done them, and we're trying to rip it out.
Rip is
pull,
a good
pull. Oh, yep. Ooh. Give him the good old bend treatment.
We're gonna have so much fun putting this back in.
Yeah. So for those of you who have not done this before, we have to get the lines through all of here, under this AC line, and over into here into the radiator when we put it in. It is not the not the easiest fit, let's just say that. We all had to go at doing those lines up. Scotty ended up getting them. I thought it was going to cross thread because it was tight, but turns out that's just how they are.
You just need to push forwards.
I'm going to start sitting the radiator in now. So, because we hit something very hard, that's the previous radiator. All this has been bent up. I don't know if you can actually see that in the video or not. So, old Scotty over here is going to do some bushyard mechanics.
Hopefully it fucking works.
how about we get a pole, put it there and try and whack the pole even?
It's like literally down.
Or is it working?
Yeah, no, it is done.
Yeah?
It's probably a little bit high there, but like...
Couple more hits then.
It's not really not that far off.
Okay.
Just a touch. Touch. It's not getting any straighter, but that's fucking...
Right.
That's...
Do we come back?
Cheers, man.
You enjoying your food? So we now have the radiator in, tranny lines are hooked up to it. We fucked up that shroud, but that's not our problem, even though it is. Thought we'd give the air filter a bit of a clean as Brendan took it out in the paddock to try and make a little bit of a track. She's right. So I'm going to jump under this thing and drop the pan of the transmission, see what that's like. Probably fine. See if it's milkshaked or not, which, look, I don't think it has, but it's worth giving it a service and topping it up with oil, as it could just be low in oil. It's putting it into limp mode. It's throwing no codes. We've hooked it up to a scan tool, which we actually have over in the passenger seat there. We've hooked it up to the scan tool. No codes have been thrown, so this is our next option. It's red. It's actually in quite decent condition.
Well, not a gearbox issue.
Right. Well, that's all the bolts out. I lied.
Taxi.
Is that all going in or?
Yeah, it went in, but most of it splashed out the front.
Surprised at how clean it is. There's not even anything in the bottom of the pan. Like, oh, there's some tiny bit of sludge on the magnet, but that's just normal. I'm really surprised at how clean that is. New filter, top her up, new seal, hopefully the limp mode doesn't happen. If it does, we'll have to just chuck a new... Yeah, I think we'll try a new ECU if it's still limp modes after this, and then we'll do gearbox. So, we ended up getting the filter in, and we're about to fill up the gearbox now. Didn't really record, a bit hard to record when we're all trying to do something, we're trying to help out. But yeah, just got the filter in, just putting just jacking the rear of it up now so we can put it on jack stand so it's a level while we fill the gearbox back with oil. Go subscribe to Corn Fed Boost on YouTube. He's a great bloke. Has 600-700 horsepower in a turboed Ecotec, so well worth the watch. Went from 7 to 0. That's alright.
Got 180.
Low Ks. I'll put it back in park. Ooh, we did something wrong. What do you reckon? What could that be? So after all that work, we got it up on the stands. Didn't really record much. Got it up on the stands. Had it in drive. Tried to run it through all the gears. The gearbox, I don't think, is the issue because it went straight back into limp mode. It revs fine. It went first to second fine, and then went straight into limp mode. I think next thing on the list is I get a new ECU. Don't really know what else to say. I'm kind of disappointed in it, really. I really wanted to take it out for a bit of a fog today, but guess that's not going to happen. Now we're just going to fill this back up with some oil, because he lost a lot of it on the ground.
Dirt. Bump. Wow. This is gonna be wild. Oh, reverse it. What have we done? What have we done? What have we done? Bad idea to have windows down, eh? What do you reckon, Ryan?
This is going to be fun.
Windows up? Windows up! Oh.
Do the track, I'll follow you, and then I'll try and tandem with you, because this is not doing too bad.
Yeah, right,
Yeah. What's the music? Yeah. You gotta watch out for fire too, by the way, backfire. Look at this thing. Windscreen. This is not gonna be
Just
fun.
wipers. Oh no! Oh no! Not what we wanted.
This is gonna be messy. I can't see.
Left a little bit. Just fuck flat chat.
Do we have water? No, we don't.
It's getting better.
Hey guys, I just want to say real quick before this clip plays, always be really careful in the paddock no matter what you do. Wear your seatbelt if you can, wear a helmet, and always be aware of your surroundings. This could have turned out way worse than it did, but thank God it didn't, and thank God we're all okay. I've only accumulated a little couple of bumps there, but I'm fine. Everything's great. Everything's okay. The cars can be repaired, hopefully. I think. Repaired enough to skid them anyway, to continue skidding them. So yeah, just thought I'd say that real quick before the clip plays now. Fucking see.
Oh, come.
Yeah, I'm smacking that fucking hard too. Oh fuck. Holy. You're not getting out of there.
Nah, other side.
Yeah, I just took my seatbelt off too.
Oh.
I didn't know you.
Knocked the stuffing out of me.
Couldn't see.
Oh, you're ahead, bro.
Yeah. Is it just a lump or? Where I hit it on the mirror.
That hit me hard,
Yeah, can't. I don't even fucking know.
I just seen you coming out of nowhere. I was like,
Bro, I literally couldn't do anything to be out of that. That's fucking falling apart.
it's not bad at night.
Can't see out the windshield. Bam. Always wear your seatbelt. So
Wow. You boys are out of control.
that thing still copped a flogging too, as it was. Still did a couple of loops in it. Actually, I cracked the windshield with my head. If you can see it, here's a crack. And yeah, airbags didn't go off. I'm very surprised the airbags didn't go off.
Definitely need a welding.
Yeah, only the other wheel spun. Woo!
Definitely need a welding.
Look at all the rubber. Does it have no rear brakes? Yeah.
No?
No?
No, it doesn't have rear.
That nearly held second with no rears. Nearly.
Oh, I clicked back to first. It held second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she runs, I'd still say she runs perfect. She doesn't overheat. The aircon still works. All the lights still work. Horn works. Drives straight. Guess I'll fix it. Yeah, give way to your right.